titans stand in my way. I must hunt them down one by one. This desert is as hot as the flames of hell. Gifts. I'll take them all. The power courses through my veins. Surges through my veins. Just what I needed. Fragments gathered. The item will be next. I can feel the power in my very bones. More power, more carnage. These fragments will serve me well. Strength at the right time. Now, press on, step by step. The Titan's fate is sealed. Sorry, little guy. Thanks for the treasure. Forward, the Titans will bow or die. Fragments of power. Soon the door will open. This new power fuels my rage. These fragments will serve me well. I have fought. I have bled. Now the real challenge. Every Titan down is one step closer to claiming the King's head. A hidden treasure. Guarded, of course. Gifts. I'll take them all. Power surges through my veins. The great void will tremble before me. These fragments will serve me well. Fragments gathered. Titan will be next. Fragments of power. Soon the door will open. Step by step. The Titan's fate is sealed. Forward, the Titans will bow or die. I have fought. I have bled. Now the real challenge. Power surges through my veins. Every Titan down is one step closer to claiming the King's head. This heat boils the blood, perfect for hunting. Step by step. The Titan's fate is sealed. This new power fuels my rage. Fragments of power. Soon the door will open. Forward, the Titans will bow or die. fragments will serve me well. Precious minerals. The blacksmith will be glad. Fragments gathered. The Titan will a hidden treasure. Guarded, of course. Fragments of power. The door will open. A Titan's nightmare awaits. Soon I will claim its blood. I can feel the power in my... Every Titan down is one step closer to claiming the king's head. Only one thing will leave this cave alive, and it guesses. Fragments of power. Soon. The door will open. Step by step, the Titan's fate is sealed. These fragments will serve me well. Forward, the Titans will bow or die. Fragments gathered, the Titan will be next. Step by step, the Titan's fate is sealed. These fragments will serve me well. Fragments of power. Soon the door will... Fragments gathered. The Titan will be next. A Titan's nightmare awaits. Soon I will claim its blood. Every Titan down is one step closer to claiming the king's head. The Titan's sacrifice is complete. The primordial portal awaits. No more waiting. The final battle is here at last. Another void fragment. Spell will break. Now we press on. That's one crack in his cursed door. These void fragments, his shield won't last. The power courses through my veins. The Void King's magic is breaking. Soon we meet. Another void fragment. The spell will break. Finally, the day of my revenge has come.
The king has opened my eyes. Allow me to close yours forever.
More power, more The last sigil is lit. Show yourself, Void King.
Who dares summon me? Oh, another Void Hunter enters my sanctum. Yes, I know your kind. The corpses decorate my chamber. How many must I destroy before you understand? I am the king. feel. I see your powers, Hunter. The others shattered, but you can still ascend. Why bleed for them? I offer you unchained power. That's what you want, isn't it? Don't you wish to become a god? Let me show you how. No! I am the king! I am the king!
It's done. The Void King is vanquished. Victory belongs to me.
You think you defeated me, Hunter? You wanted to wake up the beast. Now you will suffer. You will beg and pray for the gift of death. Impossible! No one has ever. Fool! You have no idea what you've done. I was the master of the horrors you feared. Without me, the hunger spreads violently. Unchained, the nightmare is endless.
The king falls. But that's just the start. I'll tear through what comes next. This desert is as hot as the flames of hell. Forward. The Titans will bow or die. Fragments gathered. The Titan will be next. Fragments of power. Soon the door will open. Step by step. The Titan's fate is sealed. Precious minerals. The blacksmith will be glad. These fragments will serve me well. Forward, the Titans will bow or die. A Titan's nightmare awaits. Soon I will claim its blood. Titan down is one step closer to claiming the king's head. Only one thing will leave this cave alive. Any guesses? These fragments will serve me well. Step by step, the Titan's fate is sealed. Forward. The Titans will bow or die. Fragments gathered. The Titan will be next. Fragments of power. Soon the door will open. These fragments will serve me well. Step by step, the Titan's fate is sealed. Finally, beyond it will be carnage. So be it. Every Titan down is one step closer to claiming the king's head. This heat boils the blood, perfect for hunting. Fragments gathered. The Titan will be next. Forward, the Titans will bow or die. Step by step, the Titan's fate is sealed. These fragments serve me well. Fragments of power. Soon the door will open. Forward. The Titans will bow or die. Step by step, the Titan's fate is sealed. A Titan's nightmare awaits. Soon I will claim its blood. Just what I needed. Every Titan down is one step closer to claiming the King's head. Only one thing will leave this cave alive. Any guesses? Step by step, the Titan's fate is sealed. These fragments will serve me well. Forward, the Titan will bow or die. Fragments of power. Soon the door will open. Fragments gathered. The Titan will be next. A Titan's nightmare awaits. Soon I will claim its blood.